size is this? I think this is $half size. It's not $half size. What is it? Quarter size? No. What is this? Oh, it's probably dollar size. It's probably dollar size. Yeah, it's dollar size. Okay. Got a couple of these bad boys. Dollars. Good morning. So I'm just going through some books that I've been trying to finish building here, and I didn't see anybody on, so I'm gonna jump on and go through it. So I go through nickels and pennies pretty regularly, and I put some books together. On pennies, I have several of them, but I put together some of the Jefferson nickels. So this one is complete. It even has the 2009 Philly, 2009 Philly, and the 2009 Denver right here. So these are all coins that I found in circulation. They're in really good shape, very clean, minimal bag marks. I think the worst one is maybe this 2003 sitting right here. But that's the 96 to current. I even have the 2018 Philly and Denver in this one as well. Yeah, 2018 Philly right here, 2018 Denver. So this is up to date. So I have that one. Put that one down here. So my goal for today, at least one of my goals for today, is to do books 1 and 2, or I get just the Jefferson Nichols 1962 to 96. You found a 74 dB full steps. Yeah, the 70s you can find with pretty decent steps. The earlier ones, the 60s and especially the 50s, if you can find those with full steps with no breaks in them, then you can get those for those are have really good value on them. So a little bit about how obviously I'm going to use some of these coins that are sitting here on my desk, because these is some of the stuff that I went through recently. But the other thing I'm going to do is I have little what's the word, containers. This is one of my bigger ones. But this is where I have most of my years split up, so that I can look through and get specific years out. So some of these things are so full that I had to put rolls of them. I'm planning on going through those and kind of calling out the ones that are garbage. I'm gonna try to put together a grade scale, which I have right here. So I make these. These are for pennies, and then I have some for nickels as well. So I plan to do more grade scales, but I made these because people kind of want them, or have asked about them. So I printed up a bunch just to have them. I got my prototype sitting over there. It's yeah, I'm not super organized because like I've got all this stuff and like there's a giant pile of coins right over here that I haven't sorted through or whatnot. But as long as there's some kind of rough organization, um, that's the way to go, because yeah. So that is my goal. I think I have a goal. I do have another one. Yeah, here's another one. So I do have more than CFA. So I do have these. If you guys want these, you can email me at the email below. I have these available right now. Put those up there. So let's get into. I do have a mail call thing to do. I'm gonna do that separately outside of this, because I just wanted this to be a kind of a chill stream. I did finally get enough to get an entire roll of 2009 Denvers nickels. So I 3D printed myself my own roll, because that's what you do when you have a 3D printer. So I actually have more than these. So if you guys are looking for 2009 Denver nickels, let me know, because I have lots and lots of them. I seem to find them. Like this one right here, came from a box that I did yesterday, and there's a 2009. I also found a since for whatever reason the 1944 nickels are really hard for me to find, but I found this one yesterday. So it's a 1944. It's an S. The S is kind of worn, so I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can fill roll and a half on the 09Ds, but no way on the Ps. For whatever reason, I got really lucky with some of the Philadelphias. Like there was like a couple of boxes that I actually found like 3 or 4 in on the Philadelphia mints. But yeah, I consistently find at least one 2009 in in this. Hey, Hunting History, thanks for coming by. So first thing, before I do anything else, is I'm gonna get gloves on, because I don't want oils, grease, stuff all over these coins as I'm putting them in. Hey, chef. Okay. Okay, so I always put gloves on because there's oils and stuff in your hands and your fingers. That if you put like your thumbprint on a coin, it will attract dirt and stuff to it, and it will basically like tattoo that coin with your fingerprint. You'll see it a lot on, especially the newer cents, um, uh, the newer, like the 2010s and stuff, where they've been picked up, and that fingerprint is still there. And it has to do with the oils and stuff. So anytime I'm handling a large number of coins, like anytime I'm coin roll hunting, I always have gloves on, because that's how I sort them through. And then if you're gonna pick up coins, try to pick them up by the rim, not putting your finger over over across the face of it. But yeah, that's how you pick up good coins. All right, so the goal of today is to see how far I can get into the Jefferson Nickel book. I'm gonna use probably some of what I have here, and then go to the books. I'm gonna start off with the new one first. And just to let you guys know, I do have the bot running. So if you guys want to play games and whatnot, you're more than welcome to. Give you a quick rundown on what games and stuff that I have. I have flip coin, I have gamble, I have dice, I have slots. So if you guys wanted to play those, by all means. I just came on to hang out, talk about coins. Yeah, basically just hang out. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll keep an eye on chat, and yeah, we'll just hang out. So I'll talk about what I'm doing as I do it. Yeah, it's gonna be. I've got. I found this one. This is a 2005, and it's got an extra column on the left-hand side, and it doesn't match anything that is currently known by Wexler's, Copper Coins, or Variety Vista, which I thought was really interesting. So I saved that one because I would like to go through, see if I can figure that one out later. Okay, so it looks like I already have one coin in this one, which just happens to be a 96 Philly. So let's do, I got a 2009 sitting here, so we're going to use that one. The best part is this, that if I get into a pickle, I'll just use one of my 3D printed dies to push him in there. Alright, 2004. I got a whole thing on 2004, so I don't need any of those. This is the 92, so I need to go to the newer. See what I got up here. 92, 91. This starts at 96, so I'm gonna need something newer than that. But 97 Denver. 97 Denver. Go right there. 97 Philly. Man, that thing is nice. It's always great when you can find coins like this. It's like, it's so shiny. 97 Philly. Put that in there, just like that. 98 Denver. Use some laser. Go to 95. 96 Denver. That one will go right there. Okay, and then usually for on these right here, the Monticello reverse, actually usually just find something that, like, I have like a bunch of usually in the 80s, because they usually have some pretty good reverses, and I'll use one of those. Like how about this 89 Denver is perfect, and I'll use that one for the reverse. So I'm using this dollar die that I had printed out, and I'm not using much force. I'm just putting it on the edge and then rolling it forward, so that I'm not scraping across the face of these coins. Okay, so that puts out. Let's see. That's the 2004. Oh, this has got the crack in it. Okay. So let's go to all of the newer ones. So let me grab my my boxo coins here. So most of my newer ones I just have in here. Let's see. So I'm looking for a 99. Looking for a 98 Philly or the 99, so I'll put this up here. So I have these sorted out by, let's see, 96, 98, 95, 95. 96, 97, 96. 97, 95, 6, 96, 98 Denver. No, I need a 98 Philly. 96, 95, 96. Like this part right here is probably the worst part. Is just finding the coins. Since I just have them like just sorted out and by like the date, by the I don't know, the decade, and not by the year. On some of the other ones I have them by the year. So there's a 99 Denver. Okay, so put that one right there. 95, 97, 96. I should probably go through these and sort them out to like the years, because basically all these stacks that I have right here is like just 95, 96, 97. I don't have a whole lot of 98s, 99s, which could be that I just don't normally look for those because they're common. 98 Denver, 98. I need a 98 Philly. So as I do this, oh, there's a better looking one. When I have gone through all of my coins that I've set aside, and say like this 99 Philly that's giving me a hard time, then I'll make a list and I'll have that list up here in front of me, so that the next time that I go through a nickel box, I'll pay attention to those years and try to pull out those particular years out, and then sort through them to see if I can find a couple more of those years, so that I don't run into this situation again when I'm putting books together. I think I'm gonna be kind of stuck on this one. I've only come across like 3 99s, and they're all Denvers. 98, 97, 97, 97, 96. Okay. So I did manage to get a 99 Denver. There's a couple more in there, but not a 99 Philly. So next time I look through the next box I look through, I'll pay attention to see if I can come across a 99 Philly. Okay, so the 2000s. Let's do the. Found a 98 Wham, a 2000 Wham yesterday, and a 1951 D and a 1944 Pee Wee too. Hey, that's good. I like those Whams. Those are cool things. So this is my box of the 2004 and 2005s, because that's the ones that have the different reverses on them. So I have the Denver and then the Phillies, Denver and the Phillies, Denver and the Phillies. So I need to get, basically it's going to be pretty much one of each out of these to fill up this book. So I'm going to do the 2004 piece, Philly. So on the 2004 Peace Reverse Philly, check the date for a possible double die obverse, and then on the 2005 Bison Philly, check the date for a possible double die obverse, and then for the 2005 Denver Bisons, um, check the reverse for spearing on the buffalo. I think I'm a solid enough surface for this. So 2004 Denver. Do I have one here? That's a Philly. 2004 Denver. 2000. Alright, now we're gonna do the 2004 P&D on the keel boat. So there's the D on the keel boat. Looks like I have one of the Philly keel boats. I'll have to go through and get some more out when I find them. Usually I just look at them, and if it's on the keel boats, and if they and I usually just bypass them. So I'll have to grab a couple of extra ones so that I have them. So I believe this is my Denver. This is my Philadelphia. It's not how I wanted to do these. For the 2004 and the 2005s, I usually flip them around so it shows the actual designs. Okay, now I'll set these. I do the same thing with the Lincoln Sense for the 2009s, is I'll flip them over so that I have the actual designs showing forward. WAM is wide AM, Chef. So there are design varieties on the 98, 99, and 2000 that in the incorrect reverse, basically the proof reverse, die was used to strike business strikes. So you can find them where there's a space in between the A and the M. Okay, now we're gonna do the Bisons. So we're gonna do a Philly and a Denver. So which one's my Philly and which one's my Denver? So this is the Philly. Alright, yeah, this is my Philly. And this is my Denver. Yep. Okay, now it's time for the ocean in view. So ocean in view. This is one down here. Ocean in view. So one Philly. Double check that it's a Philly. Double check to make sure it's a Denver. Just in case I get those mixed up. So 2005 Philadelphia Ocean in view. This one. And then 2005 Denver Ocean in view. Goes right here. Alright, now I'm looking for 2006 P and D 2006. Put this up here. 2006. I had some of those. This is a 2004D Kilovolt. And this is the 2005D Ocean. I thought I had some up here. I do. 2005 Philly Bison. 2004 D Piece. And 2000 Philly Bison. Yes, okay. I go back to this one. This is like kind of my catch-all because I've got all my dateless Buffaloes and 2009 Ds in here. I've got bunches of them. And I've got the newer ones down here, the older ones back up here. So right now we're looking for 2006 D and P. I know most of my 2006s are sitting right here, so there's a D. Now let's see if I can find a P. Denver, Denver, Denver. Oh, right there. That was easy. That was easy. Okay. Set that down. I very much need to clean my desk. It's getting out of hand. Okay, so this one has some really cool toning. I think that's why I took it. Hey, Hoosier. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. 2006 P goes right here. 2006 D goes right here. 2007. Oh! Don't do that. Don't put all your coins on the ground. That usually doesn't work. So I'm looking for some 2007s. Oops. 2006. A lot of the newer ones I usually don't have a whole lot set aside. 2006 seems to be a really good year for coins, in the sense that whatever like preparation they did for the planchets and all of that was dead on, because the coins in 2006 across the denominations were beautiful coins. That's weird. I shouldn't be in here. There's a 1971D up here. 2006, 2006, 2006, 2006. This must... Alright, keep on getting random coins in here. 2006, 2006, 2008. I need a 2007 Philly. 2006, 2006. Lots of 2006s. 2006, 2006. I got these random coins up here. I don't know why. 2006, 6. 2007, I need a Philly. 2006. Yep, so the bulk of this is actually 2006. So I've got a 2008 Denver and a 2008 Philly, at least one of them. But I do not have any more 2007. So that's yet another one I'll have to put on my list to look for, to actually set aside the next time that I go through coins. So let's set this aside. Ouch. Let's see. So 2008P goes right here. 2008D goes right here. 2007D goes right here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that one. 2009P. I don't think I have any more of those, but I definitely have these other ones, so let's get into those. Same box, so 2010, 2011, which is going to be over here. So there's a 17P, so P and D 17, 16D, 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 there's a 2018D, 2011, 2015. I think these are actually supposed to be a little bit more organized than how I have them right now. 2010, 2017 Philly. I got that one already. 2012D. Need that one. 2011. 14. No 2. 2010D. 2010D. Ouch. I have games on if you guys want to play games. 2012D. 2014 Philly. There's that one. 2012 Denver. 2011 Philly. Okay, so there's that one. 2012. 2015 Philly, I got that one. 2017 Denver, got that one. 16 Denver, 15 Philly, got that one. 17 Denver, yep, I got 17, 16, 1690 Philly. So 1590 Philly. 17, 11D, 11, good on 11, 12P. Yeah, okay. $14 Philly. We got 14s. 14s, I got 11s. I got 14s. A lot of the newer years I don't really look through. I don't look for. So it'll have to be one of those things that I go back and I actually look for them. That one was done. Okay. We've got some newer ones here, so let's see what we got here. Let's see. So 2018 Philly goes with that one. 11, 18, 18, 15, 16 Denver. 16 Philly. 16 Philly, okay. 18 Denver, 16D, 17, 17. What am I missing? 17. Nothing. I'm missing 17. Okay, so I've got 2018 P&D here. I've got 2017 P&D here. I've got 2016 P&D here. I'm missing one 2015. And then so I've got 14. 2013. I don't have any 2013s. Then I got a 12, and 11, and right there. Okay. So all I need is a 2010 Denver, a 2015 Denver, and both sides of the 2013. Much easier to sort through. 2019. There's a 95. What am I doing here? Random coins and spots. Not that I had it all organized. It just turned into a big mess. 18, 16, 17. Hey, Lincoln. 17, 14, 17, 16, 17, 18, 16, 16, 17, 17. Yeah, I'm gonna ask a favor of you guys. I was trying to put together something with about centered planchets, and would ask that if you guys come across anything, would you let me know? Basically, what a centered planchet is. You may have heard of the Lincoln. Sorry, not the Lincoln. The Nichols, the Black Beauties. That is a centered planchet. Basically, the planchet gets improperly annealed, and that changes the color on it. So I was trying to find some kind of reference, or maybe photos of like proven centered planchets, so that I could come up with kind of a reference, because I have a couple of coins that I believe are center planchets. One is an Eisenhower, which would be really interesting, and then I got like this one right here that, you know, just trying to learn the difference between a an environmentally, you know, toned / damaged coin and a center planchet, because like if you look at the details, yeah, I noticed the spots on the back, but if you look at the details on this thing, like it's speckled, and the overall strike, which you can see is straight, like it's clean. So I was kind of a little bit curious about that. So if you guys come across something, let me know, because I would be curious to see if I can put something together, like maybe a video, or maybe just a blog post or something. I don't know. 2012 2014 Philly, 2014 D, 2016, 17, 2010 Philly, 2015 Philly. Okay, I'll put these down. Yeah, I got one. What are you looking for? This is 17P. This is 17D. This is 18P. This is 18D. What are you looking for, Mike? Lincoln's got all the books. He's got the red book, the blue book, the yellow book, the purple book, the green eggs and ham book. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to fill these in, and then that's gonna be one. I'm gonna be done with everything that I can get in that book for right now. So 2000 to 2003. 2000 to 2003. 2000 to 2003 is gonna be right here. So 2000 Denver, 2002 Denver, 2000 Denver, 2002 Philly, 2003 Denver, 2000, 2001, 2000 Philly, 2003 Philly, 2003 Denver. So I need a 2001 Philly. If you open the back cover, there should be a postcard. Send that in, and you'll get a 50 stake quarters holder book for free. Philly, 2001. I need the 2001 Philly. Any idea where to pick up coin books at a discount? I do, well, local, like, book sale, sometimes libraries have them. I do most of mine, actually on eBay or Amazon. Or there's a couple other book sites, but I can't remember what they're called right now. I want to say one is Goodreads or something. I don't know if they would generally have coin books, but you can check it. I would agree. Patience is not a strong point. I've got something in my hand and I want to figure it out. I'll tell you guys one thing though. This Mr. Coin that Robert Lawson has, it is giving me a run for my money. Because I am having a hard time. Like I know the history behind it, behind the coin, but I can't find. Like I'm really struggling to find anything that has to do with where it was minted or how many They were minted. Like I'm really kind of struggling with that. I didn't think that I was gonna struggle this much. Okay, 2003. Philly was right there. 2003 Denver was right there. What kind of books were you looking for specifically? Hoosier. Okay, so I'm missing a 98, so I'm gonna make myself a note. Note on paper. It's gonna be Nichols book. 1998 P. 1999 P. 2007 P. 2009 P. 2010 D. 2013 P and D. And 2015 D. That way I have this note and I'll put it up here. So that is the 1996 book. Now we'll get into the other one and see how much we can put into that one. Okay, this one right here. Okay. So again, the one with the monocell reverse, I'll just use whatever I have handy to put in there. So I've got a 91 that's sitting right here, and that's where that's gonna go. So now we get into the rough ones. So 60s. I think I have some up here actually. So 63, 68S, 68D, 68D, 68S, 62D, yeah, right there. Let's see what this one is. 66, right there. 64D. 64D. Okay, put these in. '66. 68 S, 68D. Yeah, see, these things work really good. What books were you looking for, Hoosier? Ooh, I'm having a ton of lag right now. Oh, that's brutal. I'm gonna try to restart here real quick. Hold on. I'm looking at my OBS, and my OBS is like imploding right now. Something on Lincoln Sense. And Nickels. Holy crap. I am lagging so hard right now. I don't even know if you guys can even see me. I've got... Yeah, I have no... I've got nothing else going on. That's not running. That's hardwired. I've never had this much issues. You can hear it? I'm sitting at 75% dropped frames. And that's after I restarted the stream. So 2 minutes, 45 seconds, and I am at over 70% dropped frames. And I had tweaked my stuff so that like the packets and everything was smaller, so that it could stream faster. I don't know if it's just my connection here, because now is it dropping? Is it getting... I think it may be dropping. Okay, I think I got it fixed. We're gonna... Let me know if it gets better. Because it's now solid green on my side. And the dropped frames are rapidly going down. Aha. Okay, good. Yeah, that was a little bit rough. That was a little bit rough. So I just adjusted the buffer size down. So for whatever reason, I've got a poor connection here, even though I'm in the middle of the city. So who knows? Who knows? But you guys, it's all back now. Everything's working all right. Hear everything. All right, we'll keep going. So 19. This one is generally the harder one. Because I don't like to put like garbage ones in them. I like to put ones in there that have, that have good luster, that have good fields. And especially the 60s. That's really really kind of hard to come up with. Um, but since I go through a crazy amount of coins, sometimes sometimes that's not so hard just because I've gone through so many of them that I can just pick out the ones that I need. So I'm gonna skip ahead to the 70s because I know that I have a stack of 70s sitting right here that I can go through. So that's a 70s. That's also a 70s. So I'm gonna put 70s right there. This is a 76. 76 goes right there. 76 Denver can go right there. 74 Denver goes up there. 73 Denver goes down there. And a 75 Denver. So one of the ones that for whatever reason, I have a really hard time finding in, like, just finding at all, is the 1971. Which shouldn't necessarily be that because I can find tons of the 1968s and 1969s. That's in the wrong spot. This goes over here. And they have a lower mintage than the 1971. So I don't know if you guys may know what particularly is driving. It could just be my area, but what's driving this 1971? Not the Denver, but the Philly. What's driving that? Um, I don't know if it's just condition that they've all been like completely destroyed already from use and wear, but yeah, just like I just don't find them, and I don't know why. Because it's got a mintage of 106.9 million, and I could find way more of the 60s. Um, 68, 68D, 68S, and they actually have a lower mintage. So I don't quite understand how that one works out. I kind of write it off to be that it's one of those conditional things um, that particular year the planchets weren't very good or whatever. Um, um, and it just that's how it worked. Let's see, 70s. Those are 80s up there. What's this up here? I got a 73 Denver, which I already have. A 75 Denver, a 76 Denver. I just got that one. And a 73 Denver. Okay. So all my 70s have been used. Good. Okay. So maybe I get some 80s in here. I do have 189 right here. This is an 89 Philly. Okay. Now, let's see. I got some 80s up here. 83 Philly. 83 Philly. 84 Denver. 87 Denver. 87 Denver. 83 Philly. Already got one. 82 Denver. Right there. 87 Denver. We already got that one. 86 Denver. Goes right there. And 86 Philadelphia. Look at that. Alright. It's the same problem with the plain 1970 Lincoln Sen. Not only Not only could I not find a decent one, I couldn't find one. Period. Yeah, it's just and some of that has to do with like there's some conditional rarities that would affect um, like the quality of some of the coins because of planchets or wash issues or whatever. But then there's just not finding them at all, and that always made me kind of wonder, like, you know, could there be like a just like a giant hoard of some of these coins that are floating around, or that are stashed away somewhere. So like my 1871 is, is it just is there somebody that just has a um like a giant like trunk of it, and they've just been holding on to it for 30 years. Hey Armando, thanks for stopping by. We're just hanging out today. I'm going through some building another book of coins. This time it's going to be nickels, and we're just here hanging out. Swimming pool full of them somewhere. Yeah, this has got to be what it is. Something like that, because come on, some of this stuff is getting ridiculous. 1990. Do I have that one? No, I didn't put that one in there. 1990. 1990. Okay, so this is the 60s. This is the 80s. This is the 70s. That's a 70. This is a 60. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. Okay, my 50s, my 40s, my 39. This is 63. Okay. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Armando, yes, all of these coins are from Coin Rohanti. And to answer your question, Hoosier, the best grades that I have come across already. Um, Even though that I have these things, I have not put one together yet, because I suck at grading, and that's the truth. um, but yeah, it's one of those that I started off with. Um, I started off with. There we go. I started off with just filling a book, just to complete the book, and then when I started actually working on some of the other ones, then it was okay. So out of what I have, what is the best looking coin that I can put inside of this book? Hey, Blockhead. So now that I got this, now I'm gonna go pull up my 60s and see if I can find some of these to put. That's what I do. I'm just trying to complete a set if I happen across. Yeah, absolutely. And there's even some blank ones that I get. Like this is just a blank sense one. And what I use this one for is I'll have a bunch of tone coins in it. I have filled dates that I start putting in there, and then over here are just I I don't know coins. Like those last four. I don't know if you guys can see those. Let me flip it over like this. They look like that they're missing the clad layer, because they're all newer than 82. So I put those in there. I don't know. Could be something that was stripped off, but I don't have that kind of information yet, so I just uh, I just hold on to them. So I've got one of those. I would like to get one of these for nickels, just a plain nickels one, because I've got some interesting like mad errors, misaligned dies, like this 2000 right here. Is a pretty decent misaligned die. Where you can see how far off the rim is on this side versus this side over here. So stuff like that, to find a book to put, these types of you know quote unquote error coins, even though they're not um, they're not really error coins. I mean, it's just one of those things that happens. That's a great idea. I didn't know they made those. I need a couple now, right? Yeah, because like I would rather have them in a book, um, where I can go back and reference them later, or which there's nothing wrong with putting them in 2x2s, but then like you can't compare them across in case have some other information that builds your knowledge. So let's grab the 60s. Let's see what we got on the 60s. So I got another one of these. I have probably 2 or 3 of these. So 60s, 60s, and then all of the 70s. I don't have anything in here right now. I don't know. I don't know what to do with those. So we need a 62 Philly, a 63 Denver, and a plain 64. So let's see what we can find. 62. 63, 63, 63, 63, 63 Denver, right? That's a Philly. Denver, 63 Denver. So I got one of those. Okay, I'll go there. '63, 62, 62 Philly. I don't know if you guys can see that streak. It's got like this weird streak on it. Going from up here down to here. Makes me think that it's one of those like improper alloy mixes or something. So 1962 Philly goes right there. Now I need a 64. Marndo says, I did a nickel book 1938 to 2011 from cornrow hunting. The book had the proofs also, but had to buy most of them. The book looks great. And that's fine. Like, and the best part is that everybody has something different. And that's 100% okay. Because there's no, I mean, can't say there's no wrong way to do it, but everybody has their own way to do it. As long as it works for you. I'm kind of like I'm a little bit OCD. So this right here, especially when I'm building books, very much helps me have things organized. I don't think that I could get to the point where I have a tube, like a coin tube, like one of these, for each year. I think that might be too much for me. But this part works great. There's a lot of things that I'm looking at. Going through some of this stuff, especially some of the earlier stuff, and I'm gonna go through what I have, pull out what I would consider about good or good grade, and send that, and then take that back to the bank, and then put tubes together, and try to sell the tubes of, you know, your XF to AU range, because I've seen those online, and you know, because I'm not gonna use that much. Shoot. Okay, 64. I need 64. I need a 64 Philly. Yeah, just a little bit. Could be worse. It could. Could be worse. I like your organization. Well, I do tubes by year. 1938 to 1959 are the years I just fill with my U nickels. 60. Yeah, and there's a bunch of different ways to do it, and if you can find something that works for you, oops, 64 Philly right there, then by all means do it exactly how you want to do it, as long as it works out for you. I just do it like this because then, you know, I don't have this going on all the time, that I can put them in here or in my books. I need a 65. I need a 65. Let's get me a 65 right there on top. There's my 65. 67. 67. Should have a good 67 somewhere right here. Oops. Throwing nickels now. 67. So 68. 69s. I need a 69D and an S. Well, there's a 69S, and just need a 69D, 69S, there's a 69D. Let's see if I can find a better one than that. 69S, 69D, it's kind of worn though. 68S, 68. No, I'll just go with that one. 68. Okay, 70. 70 I've got down here. I need a 70D, which that one right there fits the bill. 71. Mondo says, I nickel-dated some buffalo nickels today and it almost killed me having to mess up the coin. But with no date, I guess they aren't good with no dates. Well, that's all just depending on the type of coin though, because there are a lot of people that if you go onto eBay right now, there are a bunch of entire like rolls of dateless buffalo nickels, and which I guess is fine, and people buy them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my my dateless buffaloes. Let's see, 72, 72, 72. I'm gonna put this one in here. I don't want to use the Nicodate, because I feel like that, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of torn. I'm really kind of torn on it, because I would rather it be kept in how I found it than to use an acid on a coin to get the date. I mean, I would love to get one from each date, and you know, working on that as I go. But you know, I would rather just find it with a date on it. Or the other thing is that it, like, if you guys are working on collections, you know, there's plenty of other people that may have something that you're looking for, that you can trade with. Um, you know, like Ken Peavy. I told him that I would trade some dies, um, for some Buffalo nickels, and I sent him a list. And I said, here's what I'm looking for, and like I know that there are a couple of those that are key dates, so I'm not expecting him to give me key dates, but I would like to complete the Buffaloes. Let me see if I have my Buffalo book. Where'd you go? Here, boy. It's okay. Presidential dollars. Lincolns. Where's that Buffalo book? Oh, it's up here. It's up here, buried underneath the other side of the side of the desk. So here's my Buffalo book. So obviously, like, that page is empty. There's a couple, and then I've got those. But all of these things are ones that have full dates that I have actually found coin roll hunting, which is amazing to find that many buffaloes coin roll hunting. You like the press? This is actually a 3D printed die, and this is two the mints specifications on the dies that they were actually used. So obviously this doesn't have a design on it and it's flat, but this is the quarter die, and this is 2 spec. So other things that I do is so I have the penny die, I have the nickel and the dime die. So I have 3D printed an entire set of mint specification dies that I got. So, and then this one right here, which is 2 versions of one that I was playing with. This is actually a $1 die. So this one right here, I was attempting to use that is a rough version of the reverse of these Sacagawea dollar coin. That's the eagle. Just because I was playing around with ideas, but since it's flat and it's technically a soft plastic, it's not gonna scrape the coins. But the other thing that I could do is put put in a little piece of foam right here, to really push down. But got my notes. Keep all my notes for stuff. What do you sell the blank penny for? $5. $5 is what I sell these the smaller dies for. So that would be this one. Because that's a penny one. So all of the dies that I print, though, other than obviously this set because this is proof of concept, they all will have serial numbers, so that you know that you have a one of a kind. So 1972D. So for the nickels, I'm using the quarter die, because it's almost the same, it's a little bit bigger, so it gets all of the edges, all of the rims, and it really pushes down on the rims versus pushing down on the face of the coin. Okay, so we have this one all the way done on the first page of it. So from 1962 to 1973D. Now we go on to the second page, which is going to be the mid 70s to the early 80s. So let's get out the 70s again and see what we got. 70s. So 1974. I'm looking for a Philly. The Philly right there, right on top. Let's see. Some coins are hard for me to tell if it's been cleaned. On the Lincoln cents, especially the older ones, what you can do is to see if they've been cleaned. Check around the devices and like the date and the bust. If it's dark there and it's light elsewhere on the coin, that coin has been cleaned. Um, that's like the number one giveaway, because there will always be like little dirt particles and stuff that darkens the edges around, like especially around the bust and around the devices, that you can't clean out very good. Um, so that would be the number one thing to look for to tell if a coin has been cleaned. Um, and that goes with any pretty much any of the coins. The other way to tell is if, let's see if I can do this. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up, and as I rotate the coin around, you'll see how right there, you see how the light kind of turns back and forth. Yeah, I know this one's got scratches. Like this light right here, and it drops down here. If you can see that light, that's what they call cartwheel luster, and it's the way that that the light is diffused, is reflected off of the surface. Now, if you clean a coin, if you clean it, it doesn't have that same structure, so it will like basically like just highly reflect off of it, like kind of something like that, and it won't have that separation to it. Armando's attempting to do a wheat penny set all BUAU. That's tough. More power to you. That would be a great set. 75. 75. I need a Philadelphia. 75 Denver, 75 Denver, 75 Philadelphia right there. Okay, 77. I know I got lots of 77s. Looking for a Philadelphia right there on top. Perfect. 78. So I'm looking for a 78 Philly and a 78 Denver. There's a Denver, there's a Philly. Perfect. Okay, so Philly, Denver. '79 Denver, and just looking for a 79 Philly. 79 Philly. Some of these coins, because I live on the West Coast, that some of these coins are just like the Philadelphias are just hard to get. So it's hard to get Phillies on the West Coast, and then it makes it that much harder to get really good looking Philadelphias. So when I find them, you know it. Okay, let's see. That goes down. 75, that's down already. 77, 78, 78 Denver, 79, 79 Denver. Okay. So now we're into the 80s. So let's dig up the 80s and see what we can come up with. 80s. Well, so much for being organized. I do not know where my 80s are. I know that it is in it's in a black one like this. But this is 1980 Philadelphia Lincoln cents and not Nichols. Well, that's interesting. Well, I probably buried a nut or something. So I will have to come back to that. So I got those two books mostly done. I'm only looking for a handful of ones in the nickels. Let's see if so that one's complete. Let's see. So it's this one. Those are Lincoln cents. So it looks like that I'm almost done with another book. 1939D, 1939S. So this is the 1938 to 1961, which is book 1. So I have almost all of the war nickels starting right here. So these ones I flip over so that you guys can see the mint mark on most of them. I don't know why I didn't do it with that one. Let's see what we got. This is so 39D and 39S, which are some of the lowest mintages of the nickels. You got 3.5 million for the 39D and 6.6 for the 39S. But it's one of those things like I found a 38D and a 38S. I found those coin roll hunting, and they have similar mintages. Does this book have the... Yes, it does. So this one right here This is my favorite one. This one. 50D key date found coin roll hunting. 2.6 million. This, you know, you can find these in circulation, and that's why, especially when I can come up with, you know, multiples of these books, just out of coins that I found from coin roll hunting, um, shows that you know, my area is really not touched when it comes to um, nickels. So this is a completed set of 1962 to 1995. So I have a complete set. Should be these. So yeah, this would be my completed set, nearly. So I'm missing 4 coins of the nickels. The funny thing about the 50D is that I was working on this video series for these books to see how many basically I could put together, and during that series of videos and live streams, I actually found two. I actually found two 50Ds. This is one, and the second one was in a set of books that I sent out to the winner, who was Ravenhawk Coins. So he has a whole set, including the 50D. So I've found two in my coin roll hunting career. 1939, Philadelphia. 1940. Most coin shops that I have talked to or that I've looked at, they do not search varieties because they don't have time. So um, there are some of the key, like the key dates and like the known, that like the heavy varieties, like on the Lincolns, the 1955 double die, the 1969 S double die, those kind of things, the ones that are very, very popular, they will know about them and they will look for them. But some of the smaller varieties, they won't. And there are plenty of opportunities to cherry pick coins, over mint marks, a bunch of other stuff. The ones for the nickels for this book is 39D, 39S, 42S, and a 44P. That's what I have left in this book, and that will 100% complete a Jefferson nickel collection. Loser says, I'm having fun looking for varieties. I really like the cuts, die cracks, and breaks. Not really good at identifying the double dies yet. I have trouble distinguishing between MD and doubling. There are plenty of guides online that you can look at, Hoosier, but the easiest way to really distinguish between them is by asking yourself a very basic question. Does it make the letter larger or smaller? If it makes it smaller, it's machine doubling. Because if you take into account that on the face of the die, it is the field that is basically striking over the existing letters, and it will make the letters smaller. If if it's bigger, then that's a double die. So um, the I guess the best piece of advice is to really get a good understanding, um, visual of what the coins should look like. So one thing that I do, as I was learning, is if you go on a PCGS, their website, they've got the coin facts, and with the coin facts, they actually have pictures that you can look at, um, and there are also pictures of double dies, so that you can take a look at two pictures side by side of the same coin in really high grade, um, and see the difference between the two coins, so that when you see it um, on something else, then you say, okay, I know that this is supposed to look a certain way, um, and you know, if it doesn't look like that, then using my reference, is it bigger? Does it look like this one that is a double die, or is if there's anything that looks like a flat shelf, anything that looks like a flat shelf is machine doubling. Um, there are some other hints that may help you depending on the series. Um, the Lincoln Cent series. Um, the Lincoln Cent series, if you have it on the mint mark, if you have doubling on the mint mark, um, especially past 1989, it is 100% machine doubling. The reason is that the mint marks were machined into the dies post 1989, so they weren't hand punched anymore. So if there's any doubling or anything wrong with the mint mark and the date, it's machine doubling. Before that, before the 1989, some of the giveaway pieces that I have seen is if you can see like doubling on, um, like up here in his hair, especially for whatever reason, that's what I see most. Um, right up, right up there in his hair, that's also machine doubling. But anytime that you have a flat shelf-like appearance, um, that follows, that follows the devices, that's generally machine doubling, especially on like modern coins. Hey, Bill457, how you doing, man? I was putting together some Jefferson Nickel books. I got through most of the 62 to 95, except for I don't know where my 80s container is, because it's around here somewhere. I did almost nearly finish this 96 to current, so I'm missing a few on that one. I'm gonna put that on that. And then I was talking about other book series that I've worked on and completed. I also have. I went through these. These are 4 of the Lincoln Cent series, and to my recollection, these are all 100%. I think the difference is on some of the 82s. They're not as good as what I wanted them to be. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the 75 to 2013, and again, this is basically an entire red collection that I put together. Alright, good luck, Hoosier. We'll see you later, man. Yeah, this is the one that I set aside. This is number 5 of the 75 to 2013s, just because I don't like this one and I don't like this one. They're definitely brown, and doesn't fit with the rest of the coins. But the other thing, and I'll tell you guys, is that the 1982s, they are a pain. um, with 7 different varieties on the 1982s between small date, large date, and copper and zinc. They are a pain to sort through. That is for sure. Okay, so I need to finish cleaning off my desk here. Yeah, it's hard to match a set. Yeah. This is one of the other ones that I found. This is 2 boxes ago. This is a 1903 Liberty Head or V nickel, that I found in a box. So I've been actually very fortunate with the boxes in my area, because I found now, I think, 3 of them, 3 of the V nickels. It's been really interesting. Definitely really interesting on some of these. Let's see, 50s here. Let me go through all of my 50s, to look for varieties, which I have not done. Oh, any of these need blind. 60s, 70s, yep. Okay, so 70, 73, 76, 75 is here, 73. I think that's all my 70s. Yep, I got 60s, 87. That's really awesome, Armando. Why don't you email me below? And you want something in trade, or I'm sure I got something floating around that you may want. 71, 74, 70. No? Okay. It's all good. Oh, I appreciate that. Um, yeah, email me at the email below, and we'll get it squared away, because that's cool. And that's exactly what, when I'm talking about on some of these things, like um, bill, uh, Canadian large cents. I do. I think I only have 1 or 2. One of them I know for sure is not in good condition. If The person to talk to about Canadian large cents is freak girl Amy Smith. She is the one to talk to. She just recently got a book on Canadian coins, and she is building a large cent collection. So yeah, if you had any questions on large cents, she would definitely be the person to go to. In fact, I think I've got this one, which is the large cent. I got this from Cheapskate, I believe. It's a Canadian large cent, 1913. The fronts were they corroded, but I think I only have one other one, but yeah. The thing that I'm working right now, though, is putting together a typesets. So I was looking for some shield nickels because I would like to put together Liberty head, silver, like, an entire typeset. Because I had this really cool thing that I actually got for my son. Oh, I put it down there. It is a book, um, like like one of these that has. I moved it. It has what is it called? Coins of the 20th Century, which is a really neat book to get because it is basically a typeset of the modern coins. That's this one right here. So I put this one together for my son, and there's a loose coin in here. That's why I needed the rubber band. But what's really neat about it is that I basically want to take this same thing, but I want to expand it. So Indian head penny. That's a 1901. That's a Lincoln wheat reverse. Steel cent. Memorial. Liberty head. Buffalo. Jefferson silver. Barber dime. Mercury dime. Roosevelt silver. Roosevelt clad. Um, Barber quarter, Standing Liberty quarter, Washington silver, Washington clad, Bicentennial quarter, and then statehood. I put the Oregon one in here because that's where he was born. Half dollars, the Barber half dollar, the Walking Liberty, Benji, um, Kennedy silver, that's a 64. Kennedy silver clad, that's 68. Kennedy clad, 78. And this is where we get to the good stuff. So Kennedy bicentennial, Morgan dollar, Peace dollar, Susan B. Anthony, which I put a 79 in here, not a 99. I put a 79. Eisenhower dollar, Sacagawea, and Eisenhower bicentennial. So I would like to do something like this, but for right now, I just want to try it on nickels. Dansko has an album for typesets. Yeah, I've seen that, but I was thinking about just doing something smaller. So this is something that I put together for my son because it's the history aspect of it. I don't care that I don't have super great coins in here, just because it's something that it's the history that he can learn from. So that was the idea behind that. And I was asking some questions in some of the chats yesterday about the pages, the currency pages that fit into the 3-ring binder, and here's why. I had a notepad. It was right here, and it is now over here. So here was my idea. Because I already know that I can 3D print basically anything that my brain can comprehend. Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks, Armando. So that if I have these pages, right, that have these two pouches in them, then I could 3D print holders for the typesets that would go in um, in these currency holders. Was what kind of my idea was, because and so you could have a basically something like this only in a typeset instead of being a grading set. No, and I could even do, you know, the same thing with the grades on it, and have it a sheet versus something like this. But I mean, my idea that I had was to have something like this, which is a sheet, and I could have like the nickels. I could have like pennies, like maybe large cents and small cents on one, and then another one would be maybe nickels and dimes or something basically like that, where I can have these, you know, these small sheet holders that would be the size of, I don't know, like a pack or something, that you could put into these pouches. That was kind of my idea on whether to have full sheets that had like all the different types, like the nickels. So the nickel, you're gonna have the shield, the Liberty head, the buffalo, the Jefferson, the Jefferson silver, the Jefferson modified, basically you can have your entire series, like going back, you know, further than just the V nickels, to really show how you know, throughout history that the coin has changed. And I thought that would be a kind of a really neat idea that that somebody could use as far as like an educational piece, um, without having to get like, you know, like an $80 Dansko album, which, you know, they're really nice, but something simpler. I don't know. It's just what I had in my head. But what do you guys think of that? That was my thought. Let's see. 1939 needs to go in here. The 40s are going to be full. Gosh dang it. See, this is where I'm getting at, is that like my 40s is all the way full right here. My 40s is already full, and I've already done like 41 PDS. I didn't label that one. I didn't label that one either. Oh, okay, I know what those are. Yeah, but it's stuff like this where like I'm gonna have to go back through these and basically pull out like the good, like the good minus, or the maybe the very good minus, and you know, throw all those in a box, and maybe I can put it together a roll of maybe fines or something. But I'm gonna have to figure out how to grade first before I do that, because not all these coins will fit. 1941, 1940, 1948. The 48 can go. The 40 can't. The 46. I have this like this constant stack of coins on my desk because I can't fit. I can't put them in my holders yet. I got some 50s up here, don't I? Yeah, 57. 57 is pretty full too. And 54. I was really hoping to come across another 54 D over S. D over S or S over D? D over S. D over S. Because I found two of them so far. S over D. This one. I've got two of those. Not quite that well, but that's, yeah. It was as soon as I saw this little tail, I knew exactly what it was, and I have two of those right now. I don't know what they would grade out as, but they are really neat to find. The other one I need to get is the volume 2 of this one right here, because this one only goes up to the Jefferson Nickels, and I need to get the one that goes up past the Nickels. So I need to get volume 2. Put those away. This is another project that I had started right here. These right here. I was going to put together some small cents, Canadian small cents. I believe I have, yeah. So I've got books 1 and 2, 1920 to 1988, and then 1989. Starting in 1989. I have one of these, of the book ones that I have not completed, but the one I really wanted to do was this one right here, which is kind of the newer one, because I have all of these coins that I have sorted out, that are, you know, that are red, that I feel like need to go in a book and not get lost. Not get lost in my pile of Canadian coins. So again, I have these separated by the years: 1940, or decades, 1940, 1950. This is 60 to 64, 65 to 69, 70 to 74, 75 to 79, 80 to 84, which is completely full, as long as with the 75 to 79, 85, 89, 90, 94, 95, 99, 2000, 2009, and then 2010 plus. And then this right here is basically just kind of all the other ones. So like the bicentennials, the quarters that I come up with, all of the nickels. I would assume that they have a nickel book that I could also maybe start putting together. Some of these are just like the bicentennial years. So this one is 1952 to 2002. So it's just stuff like those. One thing that that you guys might do, depending on like what kind of stuff that you're looking for, is that you can go to your local coin shop, and there's a bunch of these that I've actually picked up from the local coin shop, and with a reference on what the lowest mintages are, and that's where some of these had come from. That I tried to pick out the the lowest mintage numbers. Any silver Canadian? No, I do not have any silver Canadian coins. Wait, hold on. Let me double check something here. I think I have one, but I couldn't tell you what year it was. Checking my book. They blend in easy. Well, I've got one. It's not marked, so I couldn't even tell you what it was. But this is what it looks like. I don't know if it's Canadian. It's probably not. What does it say on the back? It says 25. Yeah, I think this is like a 19. Yeah, 25 cents Canada, 1915. Quinn's Coins has a nice cent buck for the Canadian coins, 1920 to 2000. Yeah, it's one of the big Dansko ones. I'm sure. Dansko makes really good albums. So on the back of this, to me it reads 25 cents Canada, and at the bottom of it, I want to say like 1915, 1913. Actually, here, let me do this. Let's put it underneath the scope. Let's find out. $1912. On my scope, it looks like 1912. I need to get better lighting. Sound silver. Do I have another? Yeah, it sounds silver. So if that would be the only one that I would have in a Canadian silver. 925 silver. $0.25. Coins in Canada. I'm gonna check to see if I have. There's a picture of a. Picture of a 1912, so I can reference it. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. So yeah, so this would be a 1912 Canadian 25 cent. I'm gonna write that down. How about we write that down right now? So this is going to be a 1912 cent. Canada. Yeah, 925 silver, yep. So now, since I have like these are just basic things that I came up with, but it will help me to know what I have if I could get it in there. There we go. There we go. So now when I look at it, I know exactly what it is. Yay! Just like that. Okay, Canadian. Sort these Canadians. Let's see, 81, that's not gonna fit, 77, 93, 93 will go, 86, 84, 89, 98, I believe will go, 65, 68, and 91. Check these out. So 76. It's not gonna work. 94. 79. 79. 93. 82. 88. 77. And 63. So I have a little bit more organization to do on these. Mintage. I didn't write mintage. Right on, Bill. Right on, Bill. $2.5 million. Thanks, Bill. Perfect. Okay. Oh, Lincoln Cents 50s. That one's buried somewhere. I don't know where that one is. All right. Yeah, that's 2.5. That's close enough. All right, guys. I've been on for 2 hours and 13 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I want to thank you guys all for coming in and hanging out with me. Helping me out with coins and with the books. I was able to clean up my desk a little bit more, which is good. I still have a pile of coins, but not nearly as bad as what I had before. So these are 50s; those just have to be sorted in. And if you guys need any grading scales for nickels or pennies, I have those available. I also have dies, available too. I have basically the entire set of your standard denominations, penny, dime, nickel, and quarter. Those are also available. If you guys want more info, please email me at the email that you see at the bottom of the screen. I appreciate you guys coming in. Please hit the like button before you guys take off, or if you've made it this far in the video, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you very much, and have a great day, and I will see you guys later.